This is the story of how my girlfriend caught me touching my member with gay adult movies. You won't believe my girlfriend's face when she saw me in full action. Stay until the end to know this story. So make yourself comfortable, and we invite you to subscribe to the channel and activate the little bell to not miss any video. It all started like any other afternoon. Work had been less overwhelming than usual, so I decided to take some time to myself at home before my girlfriend Paula returned from the gym. We had been together for 3 years, a relationship that had always seemed stable, with no major conflicts or doubts, at least on the surface. But, as I would discover that afternoon, appearances can be deceiving. I turned on my computer, looking to distract myself with anything. Social networks offered me nothing interesting, so, almost without thinking, I ended up on a video platform. It was something I had done before, but always with a mixture of curiosity and a knot in my stomach. I didn't plan it or deliberately seek it out, but there was something about those videos of men together that grabbed me in a way I couldn't quite understand. It was as if a part of me, which had been asleep for years, woke up every time I saw those images. Not more than 10 minutes passed when the sound of keys in the door snapped me out of my trance. My first impulse was to close the browser window, but my hands didn't seem to respond. By the time I realized it, Paula was already entering the apartment, with that smile she always brought after training. "Hi, love. I got here early because they cancelled the last class," she said as she set her bag on the table. At that moment, I froze. I didn't have time to react before her gaze shifted to the screen, where the video was still playing. "Are you liking the video so far? If so, leave us a like and subscribe. Let's keep going." There was an awkward silence, one that seemed to last an eternity. Paula frowned, not understanding at first what she was seeing. Then her expression changed to a mixture of surprise and confusion. "What is this?" she asked, with a tone I didn't know if it was reproachful or curious. My words caught in my throat. It's not what it looks like," I stammered, but even as I said it, I knew it wasn't convincing. The evidence was right there in front of us. Paula sat on the couch, still staring at the screen. "Isn't that what it looks like?" "Then explain it to me, because I don't understand." Her voice was not harsh or accusatory, but neither was it free of the shadow of a suspicion. I sat down next to him, feeling my heart pounding. I had never felt so exposed in my life. "Paula, I don't know how to explain it. It's not something I plan or seek out. Sometimes I get curious, I guess." I tried to justify myself, but I knew my words wouldn't be enough. She crossed her arms, staring at me. "Curious? Since when are you curious about something like that?" That question hit me, not because it was accusatory, but because it was a truth I had avoided facing myself. I told him how little I understood about what was going on inside me. How, from time to time, I found myself watching those videos, and how it awakened something I didn't know how to define. I assured her that I loved her, that our relationship meant so much to me. But Paula didn't seem convinced. "If you love me, why are you watching this?" she asked, and I didn't know what to answer. Not because I didn't love her, but because what I was feeling had nothing to do with her. It was something internal, something mine. Before we go on, we invite you to give us a like and subscribe. Let's continue. As I tried to put into words what I was feeling, something inside me began to become clearer. I had spent years fitting into an idea of myself that seemed comfortable, that seemed right. I had Paula, a relationship anyone would envy. But as we talked, I began to realize that what I was really terrified of was not Paula judging me, but facing the fact that maybe I had never been completely honest with myself. I remembered some moments in my life that I had previously dismissed as mere curiosities or passing thoughts. Like that time in college when during a party I noticed that I spent more time watching the guy dancing with my roommate than the music itself. Or the summer I befriended Daniel, a neighbor who moved into the neighborhood and whose smile made my whole day better. At the time I thought it was admiration, perhaps a stronger bond of friendship. But now, looking back, I couldn't ignore the obvious. There was always something more. I explained to Paula how I had repressed those thoughts, how I had tried to live up to what everyone expected of me. "It's not that I don't love you," I told her, my voice trembling. "It's that I never let myself think I could love any other way." She listened to me silently, and for an instant, I wished she would say something, anything. But she just stood there, eyes locked on mine, letting my words fill the space between us. That night, when Paula went to sleep, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, reflecting on all that we had shared. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I was beginning to shed an invisible but suffocating weight. I didn't have all the answers, but at least I was no longer running from the questions. The next morning, Paula hugged me before leaving for work. "I'm not upset with you," she said softly. "I just want you to be happy, whatever that means to you." Her words made me cry again, but this time they weren't tears of fear or confusion. They were of relief. I knew there was still a long way to go, but in that moment, for the first time, I felt like I wasn't completely alone in the process. Don't forget to subscribe and like for more content like this. Let's continue. We spent the night talking, or at least trying to. Paula had many questions, and I, few answers. I didn't want to lie to her, but I also didn't know how to explain what even I didn't understand. She listened to me patiently, though it was clear she was hurt. "I feel like I don't know you," she said at one point, and those words felt like a knife in my chest. Because she was right. Even I didn't know me at all. The next few days were complicated. Paula and I tried to act like everything was fine, but there was a constant tension between us. I felt trapped, torn between my love for her and that part of me that was starting to come out stronger. I started reading and searching for information, trying to understand myself better. I discovered stories of other people who had gone through something similar, and for the first time I didn't feel so alone. But that didn't make things any easier with Paula. One afternoon, while I was working from home, I got a text from Paula. "We need to talk," it said, and I knew something important was about to happen. That evening, when she arrived, she sat across from me with a serious but calm look on her face. "I've been thinking about us a lot," he began. "I love you, but I can't ignore what happened. I don't think you should either." Her sincerity disarmed me. Paula wasn't accusing me or attacking me. She was simply facing reality. "I don't want to lose you," I told her, and I meant it. But Paula shook her head. "It's not about losing me or not. It's about you figuring out who you are. And I think you need time for that." Her words brought tears to my eyes. I knew she was right, even if it pained me to admit it. That night, we decided to take some time apart, not as a definitive breakup, but as an opportunity for both of us to reflect. During that time, I began to explore more about my feelings. It wasn't easy, but little by little I began to accept myself. I realized that my orientation was not something I could ignore or suppress. It was a part of me, and denying it would only hurt me. Paula and I stayed in touch, but our relationship changed. Eventually, we understood that although we loved each other, we could not stay together as a couple. It was painful, but also liberating. Paula supported me in my process, and I will always be grateful for that. Today, I look back and see that moment as the beginning of a new stage in my life, a stage of self-knowledge and acceptance. I never imagined that something as simple as a video could trigger such a big change, but it did. And although the road was not easy, I'm glad I walked it. If you liked the video and this content brought you value, leave us a like and share it with your friends so they don't miss it.